Christmas number 5 on the channel. It's the 5th Christmas of brass arrangements here, but actually this channel is going to be 10 years old next month, though more on that when we actually get to January. For now, let's take a look at my most popular Christmas arrangement and one of my most popular arrangements, full stop. It's old, it's a bit janky, but it should be pretty interesting to delve into it. So if you're ready, which I know I am, obviously, hop on the sleigh back there and take it away, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. Yeah? Let's go. Terrible. I'm so sorry. So moving on from that terrible joke, I'm going to give you a little bit of context for those of you who haven't been watching me religiously for 4 years, which probably is most of you. When I wrote this arrangement, I was fresh out of uni. I didn't have too many gigs going on. I was sort of just getting started, getting gigs and doing all that musician life stuff. But I set myself a challenge of arranging a Christmas tune every day of Advent, just to sort of build up some portfolio and keep myself playing and practicing. And this was day 3. Now, while I knew my harmony pretty well, I was still fairly new to the whole arranging, especially for chamber ensembles. So there are things about this arrangement that I would have done differently, but there are still some things that work pretty well. Now, the main thing that jumps out to me about this arrangement when compared to some of my more current stuff that I do is the simplicity of it. I've played this chart out busking with countless mates and groups over the past 4 years, and while it is obviously a crowd pleaser because of the song that it is also a musician pleaser from the sight reading perspective. There's no wacky syncopations or precise interlocking parts or intricate counter melodies. It's just a very simple melody with a bass line and some harmony filler in the middle. There's a lot of copy and paste going on, which I'm not generally a fan of, but obviously past me was okay with that, and it does work. The harmony is strong and there's enough rhythmic interplay between the parts to keep the momentum going throughout. And to be fair, this simplicity is often what people are looking for in an arrangement. If it gets the job done and is easy and approachable, I'd count that as a success. Maybe next year I should do a month of some more simpler, more approachable arrangements. So let me know downstairs if that would keep your boat afloat. However, while it is simple and easy to sight read, there is room for improvement here, even within these parameters. So I'm going to dive in to my fireplace over there and make some small tweaks just to make it less monotonous on the ear and also a bit more friendly on the lips, because everyone's playing all the time and it's very tiring and it doesn't have to be that way. So here we are in Dorico with the arrangement of All I Want for Christmas Is You, the score. It's in concert pitch to save us having to transpose. And the first thing that you will notice as you look through is that this section from B all the way through to E here is repeated. This is a long repeat. I'm not a fan of long repeats because when you repeat a long section, you might as well just play it once. If it's just going to be the same thing again, you're just kind of filling time. What I like to do these days is change things up the second time, even if it is only slightly. It can be mostly the same, but you just change one thing. So what I'm going to do to start off with in cleaning this arrangement up a little bit is remove these repeat symbols and do a sort of manual repeat. And there we are. That's our verse 2 and our chorus 2. So in the original tune, the second verse is different melodically to the first verse. She sings a different melody, and the reason for this is because she ends the chorus with this little phrase here. Ooh, baby, oh, I don't want a lot for Christmas. That's how she sings it in the original. But obviously, when you've got a repeat, you can't change it the second time around. It's exactly the same. So here you get this huge drop of a ninth, which is pretty difficult to play convincingly, especially down to that bottom F. So the first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take this melody out of the trumpet one part and put it in the trombone part. So I'm just going to swap the two around. We've now got to a stage where I've flipped the trumpet and trombone parts successfully and changed the melody at the start here. Letter E, start of the second verse, is now that descending thing that I poorly sung just a second ago. And now what we're going to do is we're going to change up the accompaniment. Now we've got this counter melody here in the trumpet, which used to be in the trombone, and in the original is those backing vocals, the R's. I think this might be better suited to the horn part while we leave the trumpets doing an accompaniment thing. So let's do that right now. And now it's time to change up this accompaniment rhythm, because it's probably enough of that one rhythm after the first verse being it all the way through. So let's do something different here. I'm keeping the same notes because I think they worked quite well. The voice leaning was quite good, but we have swapped the trumpet and horn over, and the trumpet is now an octave higher than the horn was, so it's going to feel different anyway because the top voice is now on the bottom and the bottom voice is now on the top. So bit of a switcheroo. Let's have a listen to how this would sound. You get the point. It sounds different. I think that's the main thing. It's still fairly simple, still fairly straightforward, which just gives it that freshness that I think it probably needed. The other thing that I would like to do is change up the tuba slightly. There's a few moments where the tuba isn't playing straight crotchets, like here, for example, where we get this little nice walking up figure. But I think in the second verse we can probably add some more of these little embellishments just to slightly shake it up, give it a bit more forward momentum and all that. So let's see if we can put some in now. Just a little bit of syncopation there to break up the monotony of the constant crotchets. I think I just could have done with more, just a few more little sprinkles in there. Now, one of the other things I said was a problem with this arrangement is that everybody is playing all the time. There are no, or very few rests, and that's very tiring to play and also takes away from the impact of having everyone playing. So when you get to the big climax and everyone's playing, it's a big moment. So you want to lead up to that with not everybody playing, basically. Here's a big climax here, the big bit before the final chorus. And look at this, the whole bridge, everybody's playing. There's all these thick chords, which is not what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these chords and I'm going to take out one note from each chord. And the way I'm going to choose this chord is it's either going to be a note that's doubling the root or a note that is the fifth of the chord, because the fifth isn't as important as the third and the root, or the seventh usually. So the trumpet, second trumpet here, that E is the fifth of the chord, so we're gonna take that out. This D in the horn here is the root. The reason I'm not taking out the fifth here is because the fifth is the top line of the part, and I'm assuming based on what I remember from the arrangement it's actually a fine top line because it just holds on that concert A all the way throughout. And what I'll do is I will consolidate them all into one part, and then when we get to this next section building into the chorus, all three voices are in, but we can have them quieter so that they build into the final bit when they all play in a nice sort of unison block chord voicing. And there we are, we've now got a thinner bridge section which makes the thicker climax here that much more impactful. There's a few other little bits about this arrangement that I would probably tweak and will tweak before I re-release this arrangement in version 2.0. Mostly notational things or dynamics things, but that's another video entirely on how to sort of notate your parts for clearer and easier reading. So I hope this has given you an idea of the sort of things you can look out for in your own arranging adventures, just to make your arrangements a little bit more exciting while keeping the simplicity that maybe you're going for. It took me a few years to work out / be told by various ensembles that you need to leave a good amount of rests so that people can last the whole gig. Save the effect of having everyone playing for those big moments where you really need that extra power, and for the rest of the arrangement try and keep it as sparse as you dare. Also, this new second edition version 2.0, new and improved Mariah, Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You brass quintet arrangement will be available. Why did I make that title so long? It will be available on Sheet Music Plus for you to download and play, with an accompanying video full of fun and festivities exclusively on my Patreon, so go check that out if you haven't already. Over this Christmas period, although I think this video is coming out a bit too late for any of that to happen, and COVID, so who knows. But download it, see what you think, have fun with it, and that's it. If you enjoyed this arrangement breakdown and you're hungry for more, go check out my Patreon. Like, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Big love to you all, and a very Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays if you prefer. Au revoir. So if you're ready, you just hop on the sleigh back there and take it away, Prancer, Dancer, Dasher. No, I f***ed it. It's Dasher first, isn't it?